Hi, welcome to part 4 of the tutorial. Now, I just sort of went through all of this myself to see what I was going to need to do for this bit. And it's quite a long part, so this next bit will be broken into 3 parts, but they'll be out in succession, so the other two will still exist after this. It's just they're quite long and end up coming up to an hour for this whole bit, so yeah, break it into just 20-minute videos. So the first thing we need to do now is a messaging system. Now, if you don't know what a messaging system is, essentially we will attach a script called a message handler to one of the enemies, one of the red cubes, and then when a bullet hits it, it'll sort of get this script, run a function in it, and then other scripts can sort of register to listen for when this function gets run, and then check a bit of data and do stuff in a certain event. So you can have a message that says it's been damaged, or something's died, or health's changed, or anything like that. So it may seem a bit vague at first, and you probably, if you're still not sure, it will become clear as I go along. It's not too complicated once you start using it, but at first it seems a bit over the top. But yeah, it's a nice thing, and it's going to be very helpful and will speed up some stuff later. So yeah, that's the first thing we're going to do. So just need to create a script. So create C# script and call it message handler. Yep. And then open up code. Okay, so to start off with this message handler, we're going to need a list again. So the system collection is generic for that. And we're going to need 2 lists. Oh, actually, no, before we jump into doing the variables, we need to create a couple of things. First, we're going to need a public abstract again, like we did with the base projectile, because we got a few things inherit from. We have all of the data, message data inheriting from this. So it's going to be a public abstract message data, and that's it. Just public abstract message data. Public abstract class. No rules missing one word. There you go. Yeah, public abstract class message data. So we'll be using that in a moment to inherit all of our different sort of data from, and it will essentially be casting stuff from that to what we need it to be. So next we need a enum, and the public enum, I'm gonna call it message types. We have 3 messages for now, I think it is. So damaged, health changed. That one will be, you're probably thinking damaged and health changed aren't they the same thing? No, health change will be run by a health script, so say that his health's been updated. So yeah, sort of show different use of this messaging stuff. And yeah, we're gonna call it died. That's better. It's better than death. Yeah, so go for died. Okay, so just simple enum, 3 parameters. Now we're going to do a delegate. Now essentially a delegate is you can pretty much use a function as a variable at that point. So you can have a list of functions and then call them all in succession. So we're going to use it for, well no, it's not callback as it now. We're going to run them when sort of a message gets received. So I'll write it first, and as we use it, it'll become, again, more apparent that what it sort of does. So public delegate, we want it to void. We don't need to return anything with this delegate, and I'm just going to call it message delegate. And oops, we need to give it 3 parameters. So a message type. Well, so I don't want S in that message type. Yeah, so a message type. And then message type. The game object that's going to be sending the message. So whoever sort of sent the message to this script, that's what that's what a game object will be. Then the final bit is our message data. So what data did we want to send through with that message? And might as well call it message data. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a class. We've got a class to inherit from, enum with our message types, and a message delegate. So now Now we need a couple things. We're going to need a public list. So the reason why we did the collections generic stuff. And a message type. Essentially we're going to say what messages this object can receive. So if an object has a health script and you don't want the damage message to be interpreted, you pretty much don't want it to take damage, you can just not give it the damage sort of code. Well, the damage message handler. Yeah, again, bit of bad wording, but you'll see. So, pull this message types and let's call it messages. Don't need to be complex. And then private list of message delegates. So like I said, you can use these delegates to like a function as a variable. So something nice to use for this sort of situation. So I'm going to score message delegates and equals new list of message delegates. There we go. Now we don't need a start function and we're not going to need the update function. We are going to need two functions in our place though. We're going to need a public void and we're going to call this register delegate. So this is going to add stuff to that list, add new delegates to the list. So this is going to be a message delegate. Message deli. And what we'll do is let's go message delegates to add message deli. Oh, that's straightforward. Nothing complicated about that at all. Now is the sort of the actual function that's going to get the message. So with this, I would usually call it send message, but Unity already has a function called that. So we're going to call it give message. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this so it is actually a bool. So if your message gets passed through, if your message actually gets through, then it will return true. If it doesn't, it will return false. So in a situation where the message that you sent, the message type that you sent through wasn't in the messages, it's going to return false. So yeah. So the public bool give message. And the parameters for this are the same as the delegate. So you can copy that. They don't, just for the record, if you are using delegates and this is your first time, this does not need to match this for some bizarre reason. It's just in this situation, they do match. It was a lot faster to copy than me typing it all out saying different parameters, yeah. So, it's not required for a random function to have the same parameters as the delegate right now. Later it is, but right now it isn't. Okay, so for int I equals 0, I is less than messages, I plus, I meant messages that count. Yep, messages that count. Okay, so we need a bool, and we're going to call it approved, and approved equals false. So if messages I equals message type, then we approve, break out the for loop because we've already found the message, don't need to stay in here, and if not approved, oops, messing about that a lot, return false. Yeah, so if we don't have the message, return false. Return true, so that's going to be the bottom of the whole function. It's now another for loop. And this one we're going to go through our delegates that we have and give them the message, sort of pass along the message. So I is less than messages, not messages. Wrong one. Underscore message delegates, dot count, I plus plus. Then underscore message delegates. Why is there a P there? I. Yeah, so now if you put a bracket straight after that, it'll want the parameters for the delegate, which are exactly the same as the sort of give message here. How helpful is that? So message data. There we go. That's it. So that's our whole message handler right now. And now what we can do is we can have things registered to receive messages and then do things with what learn for the message. So we're gonna write health script in this one, and then I'll write a few scripts to actually affect the health script in the next video. So yeah. Okay, so just pop back into, let's pop over to Unity now and just add a health script. Yes, just right click, create C# script. Then I'm just going to call mine health. Doesn't need to be anything complicated. And open that up. Okay, so our health script. We're going to need one public variable. Just going to call it max health. I want it to be 100. Oh, that was meant to be public int. I don't really like my health being floats, so I find it really helpful, so I'm going to stick with integers for this. And in current health. Alright, so in the start function, m_current health, sorry. That's not necessary for you, but it's just the way I have my code. I use m_ before private variables. m_current health is going to equal the max health by default when I sort of first load up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to store the message handler, because anything in my mind, anything with health is going to have a message handler sort of alongside it. So message handler m_message handler. There we go. And in this function, m_message handler equals get component message handler. Then if we manage to get a message handler, m_message handler dot register delegate. Right, so now we're going to need to write a function to actually register as its delegate. So just for the record, that function is not finished. It does still need to get given something first. We just need to write the function. So what we need is a void, and I'm going to call it receive message. Oops. And it needs the same parameters as the message handler had these. So we copy and paste that. Remove the semicolon. There we go. And now what we can do is we can pass this to there. There we go. And that will register. Now this function will get called when the message handler gets a message that's sort of like usable. So that's straightforward. So to sort of interpret which message, because obviously this message handler may not care about all the messages. So if health's changed, the health script is the other one to change it. It's not going to care. So there's no point of sort of interpreting that. So we'll do a switch to a message type and a case, and the first case is going to be, well, we just need damage for this one. So message type damaged. So I'm going to write a function called do damage. It's going to take an int for the amount of damage that it took, and the game object that actually did the damage, because I'm going to want to pass that along with def, because later we can sort of pop up a mess saying I killed this guy, or I was killed by this guy or something. So yeah, int do damage. Right, so just do current health minus equals the damage. If current health is less than or equal to 0, then we're going to want it to be 0, and we're going to want to send a message. So message handler message handler dot. So we're sending a message to ourselves to sort of say we've died because we're at 0. Okay. So give message. Right. Before we do this, I'm gonna get rid of that so it doesn't complain at me. Whoops. Just gonna play it by that. We need to actually add some. We need to add some data for the message. So go back to your message handler, and I'm gonna write mine at the bottom of here so I know where they all are. So it's going to be a public class, and it's going to be called health data. So it's going to be the health data for the message data for the health message. Yeah. And it's going to inherit from message data. but it's not just stuff in it. So, no, wait. Yeah, health data, yeah. So, not an in-game object. Health data? Why am I calling this health data? No. Death data, because this is the death message. Don't know what I was thinking of. Yeah, so the attacker who did it, and oops, the game object who died. Because you may not always be the person that's sort of like, you may not always be the one that's died. You may be sending someone else a death message for some reason from a different sort of part code, or from a different object in the scene. So yeah, we're going to want to know who attacked and who the attacker was. So yeah, so we've got death data now. Now if you jump back to your health, we will now do a death data. And just click on death data equals a new death data. And death data, oops. Death data dot, right, need to make them public. So public game object, I always forget to do that. Yeah, so do that and then they should show up, yeah. So the attacker was the girl that we passed through. And we were the one that was attacked, so that's just a lowercase game object. Okay, now we can have to give a message. So I'm just going message handler dot give message, and the message type is going to be a death message, so died. The go is us, so game object. Whoops, meant to be a lowercase g. And the data we're passing through is death data. And because we're inheriting from the message data, it'll allow us to pass through the death data. So yeah, so now when this object dies, we will send out a message saying we have died. Now, what I also want to do is send out a message whenever our health changes. And first we'll do the data for that, so we'll go to message handler, and yet again, now we can do health data. So I was thinking about some first, didn't know what. Yeah, so now we'll do a health data. So here from message data. I spelled health wrong. Okay, so for this we're gonna want the public int max health and the current health. So yeah. Now, obviously you can expand how much data these things have later on. Say you wanted to say how much damage was done as well as, then you could add that to this. So you can say how much the health changed by. So, yeah, but that's all we need for now. So yeah, hold the health data in there. So now I'm going to go into, no, I'm not going to copy that spoilers. I will take this part though. Then health data, full HP data equals new health data dot, sorry, HP data dot max health equals max health. Yeah, I didn't make it public, good. HP data dot current health is going to equal underscore current health. Then we will give another message. So the message that we're going to go this time is health changed to the game object and get passed through HP data. Alright, so far we've got our message handler set up and a health script. So that's going to be it for this video, and in the next video, oh no, sorry, yeah, cut it short earlier then. No, it's finished. We just need to do this bit where we actually receive the message, so this is important. yeah, so one thing to note, this part now, this sort of function, this part, anywhere where you want to receive a message, you can essentially copy this function and this part where you register the delegate as that. So yeah, those parts will be pretty much consistent, and then you can change in here what cases you handle. So if you want it to be health changed or died, obviously you want damaged. So in here we actually want to receive the message, so what we're going to do is, this is going to be, oh, we need a damage date before we do that as well. So yeah, I go write the damage data at the top. Class damage data, oops, message data, public int damage. So damage data, I only really care about how much damage has been done. Very straightforward. So damage data equals message data as damage data. Then we'll do if damage data doesn't equal null. So if it is successfully cast to a damage data, it won't equal null. If it wasn't, it will equal null, and then we'll know not to sort of use the message. So we can run our damage function that we wrote below, and we can go damage data dot damage and pass with the girl that did damage. And there you go. We've got our message receivers out. So when we get a damage message, we'll cast the data, we'll cast the message data to damage data, and if it's successful, we will use the data to hurt ourselves. Yeah, so nice and straightforward. Yeah, so in the next video we'll be setting up the health UI. Okay, thanks for watching, bye.